Welcome back to Forum. I'm Mina Kim. The San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Festival returns to the Palace of Fine Arts Theater beginning tonight from November 14th through the 16th. With 2 different programs and 17 companies presenting hip hop dance, among them is the Oakland-based all-female dance collective group Mix'd Ingrdnts. And I'm joined by Mix'd Ingrdnts Artistic Director Jenay Annalyn. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm also joined by Micaya, festival founder and director and choreographer of Soul Force Dance Company. Welcome, Micaya.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
And Micaya, unlike a lot of hip-hop dance events, I found it interesting that this is not a competition. Was that deliberate?
That's correct. It is unlike anything else. It's not competition-based, and that is just because eventually you have to do what moves you. And for me, I've been moved ever since I've known about these artists, and I've felt like I wanted to honor them in a way that didn't put them in a forum where they needed to compete, but to have the audiences and the public and other arts critics and to appreciate them in a different way. So that's what it's all about. It's about appreciating them and honoring them as artists and letting them speak their voices.
And what kind of things could we see this weekend? What are sort of the stylistically diverse presentations that we could see?
Well, we have a duo that are locking duo that are going to DJ and dance at the same time. So they're turntablists / dancers, and they're going to kind of go back and forth from doing their choreography to these choreographed turntabling, which I'm excited to see. We have a group from Los Angeles who are dancing, mixing popping and b-boy and b-girling with skateboards.
Wow.
I know. And we have this Brazilian dance company coming from Sao Paulo, and they do dance, hip-hop, but they mix in Brazilian dance forms as well, like maculele and samba and capoeira, which is where, a lot of the roots of b-boying came from. It's a martial art dance form.
And we're talking... Sorry, go ahead.
I said that's just a few of the things you're going to see this weekend.
And we're talking with Micaya, founder of the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest, and also Jenay. You go by Jenay, right?
Yes.
All right. Jenay Annalyn, who is artistic director of Mix'd Ingrdnts. This is a short segment, so call now if you'd like to talk with our guests at 866-733-6786. That's 866-733-6786. Or email your questions or comments to forum@kqed.org. Post them on our Facebook page, on our website at kqed.org/forum, or tweet us. We are at KQED Forum. And of course, Jenay, you are actually the poster women for this year's festival. Meaning you are literally on the posters.
And the buses.
Yeah, we've seen around the city. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect to see from Mix'd Ingrdnts.
Well, this year we have a dynamic piece about the strength and adversities that women go through on a day-to-day basis. And again, we've got a mixture of dance styles to present, not just hip-hop, but we do incorporate a little bit of contemporary, some West African, and some house as well.
And it's been really important for you to stay an all-female collective, is that right?
Great, yes. It's our mission is to empower women to express themselves, and whether it's having just a whole bunch of women present on stage, if we can do it that way, that's great, and even just being like community leaders throughout the Bay Area.
And is there a spoken word element to some of your presentations as well?
In this piece, yes, there will be a short spoken word that's laid over the track.
And are you able to give us a little bit of a flavor of that?
Well, I didn't write the poem, so one of my co-director actually wrote it. So it's her contribution to the piece. Again, our company is a little different from most dance companies. There's usually one director in most companies, but with us, we work collectively in our process, so we have a mixture of ideas and contributions from everybody.
And how long have you been doing this?
This will be our 5th year.
And I guess, well, one of the things that I found interesting about hip hop, right, was I feel like before it was sort of something that was seen as being done on the streets, at raves, at dance battles, and now it's at the Palace of Fine Arts, it's at Yerba Buena. It's much more mainstream. Yeah, it's really popularized in movies. What do you think about that? Do you think it's getting too commercialized, or do you like seeing that?
I think there's a fine line. There is definitely a nice, the fact that it's being presented and passed down to today's generation is great. But at the same time, we want to make sure we preserve the quality of the culture, because hip hop is more culture versus just a dance.
What do you mean by that?
The style, like there's 4 elements to hip hop, actually 5, but there's the whole, the MC, the graffiti artist, the DJ, and then the dancer. And then the 5th element is pretty much the, being a part of it in the culture and living it every day.
We're talking with Jenay Anilin, Mix'd Ingrdnts artistic director, and Micaya, founder of the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest. One of the things that you have pointed out, Micaya, is that the Bay Area has a rapidly evolving hip hop scene. So how is it evolving?
I think the world has a rapidly evolving hip-hop dance scene. I do a call for submissions every spring to the Globe and ask, hey, if you're interested in performing, submit a piece, and I will consider, booking it. And boy, I get over 100 submissions from as far as all over Africa, Europe, South America, Asia, and U.S., and it is unbelievably mind-blowing what people are doing, how sophisticated the work is, and how it does evolve, and what people have to say and what they're doing with it. And yes, they are fusing it with their own voices or their own styles, and I admire it. I think it is revolutionary.
And is there a country or region that you see as sort of the next frontier of hip-hop where it's really taking off that you didn't expect?
I don't know about that, but I do know that, and I was just saying this last night with Bird Gang Dance Company from London, that I get a lot of very high quality, masterful, sophisticated submissions from London. And I asked the director from Bird Gang, who will be performing in both of our programs, doing 2 different pieces this year, why is that? And, she just said, she didn't have a really definitive answer, but she definitely agreed with me. There are a lot of heavy hitters there, a lot.
And how about you, Jenay Anilin? Do you think, where do you see sort of hip hop really taking off, or, what do you see as sort of places that are doing really exciting things with the dance?
Well, this is why the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Festival is really special, because we're being able to allow that space to have people express themselves through hip hop movement on a stage that's, not on the street, and it's not a competition, it's not a battle, it's pure art, it's pure creation, and I see that being further developed and more funding becoming available for those opportunities as well.
And can I ask you what it's brought to you personally?
Honestly, it's my dance. It's my religion. It's my release, and it's empowered me. So I don't see any. I'm not going anywhere.
You started off as a classical ballet dancer, right?
Yes.
So what is it about hip hop that's more your religion than ballet?
There are no boundaries. I'm not bounded by any technique, nothing. I'm just free to do whatever I want to do, express myself freely.
Micaya, is that something that you hear a lot too from folks who are involved?
Everyone from the youngsters to the legendary old timers that have been doing it forever, they do feel like it's a sacred space, and that and they have to have it for a means of sanity and survival. That is, it just can take us to a different place, and just like in most dance in general, but this is definitely, like Jenay said, without as much boundaries. It's more welcoming as far as all types of dancers, sizes, shapes, and so forth. You will see them all at the stage this weekend, for sure.
And it really affects those who watch it, too. I feel like I remember reading that there was a piece at a past festival that even made you cry, Micaya?
It made a lot of people cry, and what I think you're referring to is probably ill abilities. And to this day, I still have audience members come to me and say that they changed their life. It changed their life. I mean, come on, who can say that about sitting and watching something? And this particular group, each company member has a particular physical disability, and they have overcome it and become the most masterful, skilled dancers. And so when you watch them, you forget that they have these particular disabilities, but then you're reminded because you see them, and then they tell you, look, get over it, move on. Their credo is no excuses, no limits, and they do it so well that it got through to people on a very human level.
Micaya, I posed this question earlier to Jenay Anlin. I wonder what your thoughts are on whether or not you see limitations in hip-hop becoming so much more mainstream, so much more commercialized.
Limitations?
Limitations, or if you have any concerns around that at all, or if it's even a discomfort for you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a lover. So that's all I just want to say. As much positivity that can be spread, I support it.
And Jenay Anlin, I wanted to ask you if what your group is trying in terms of new things or directions you think you might go in terms of evolving.
As far as what Mix is doing, we're constantly growing and trying to exchange different dance movements. Again, like we are Mix'd Ingrdnts. We do not have a single style that defines us. We are always open to learning new. Last year, we did a piece with a little bit more. We incorporated a little bit more of the dance form whacking versus this year we have a little bit more just strictly hip hop.
And whacking is what again?
Whacking is a 1970s disco era dance that happened in the gay clubs in LA, and it's basically fast, hard-hitting movements with the arms accenting the music.
Well, folks, if you want to check out Mix'd Ingrdnts, go to the San Francisco International Hip Hop Dance Fest this weekend. We were speaking with Jenay Anlin, Mix'd Ingrdnts Artistic Director, and Micaya, founder of the Dance Fest, and also founder and director and choreographer of Soul Force Dance Company.